Hello K-pop fans, this is Chris Kim. Welcome to our K-pop. Idol Critics says that idols are not artists because they are just puppet who is doing what they are asked to do or they are forced to do. Well, that's clearly not the case for the K-pop musicians now because most of them are making their own music and their own lyrics now, which is why we're talking about the K-pop musicians producer today. Even from the beginning, K-pop idols do have producers in their own team. Deuce had iKon and Taeji Boys had Taeji. They made their own beat, they wrote their own lyrics, so they were clearly artists even from the beginning. And for Taeji Boys, YG and Juno made the choreography and they also picked their own fashion, so they self-produced themselves. In H.O.T, the first systematic idol, Suman Lee wanted the H.O.T to have a producer within their team. So Suman Lee asked Jang Yong-jin to actually be part of the team. Jang Yong-jin is a producer of their first hit song, Candy. Jang Yong-jin didn't do it. After their first album, their third album and fourth album, actually the member of H.O.T started producing. And one of them, Gangta, the lead singer, produced one of the hit single, Light. And other members did their own producing too, but sadly none of them received respect as a music producer. For girl group, it was worse. The first generation girl group like SES, Finkel, and Baby Fox didn't have any producer within their own team. As K-pop industry grows, K-pop industry became more and more systematic, which means that the expert producers produced the music and idols focused more on the performing part of the music. So they became an expert performer and they didn't care much about the producing of the music or writing our lyrics of their own music. So Girls' Generation, TVXQ, and Super Junior are classic example of the idol as a performer. They don't do any producing. Then one guy changed everything. None other than G-Dragon of Big Bang. He, even from the start, was actually trained to be a producer. Even from when he was like 12, YG, the member of Taeji Boys, produced G-Dragon and taught him how to produce. G-Dragon's assignment was producing music. And even from the beginning of his career, G-Dragon produced all of the Big Bang's music. Of course, with the help from the YG's producer like Kush, Teddy, and Perry. And he produced hit singles such as Haru Haru, Lie, and Fantastic Baby. After he successfully launched the hip-hop duo GD and Top with his own beat, people started considering G-Dragon as one of the top producers within his era. And Big Bang didn't just make his own song, they made their whole project by themselves. They chose their own clothes, they choose their own concepts. They, of course, made their own lyrics and make their own top line and make their own beat. They were the self-producers. They were artists. And after Big Bang, people started asking other idols to be real, to be self-producer, to be authentic. This is especially true for the boy groups. And now, almost every boy group has producers. Of course, with the help from the staffs, but even Beatles needed help from the staff, right? And what matters is the quality of the end product. In BTS, RM and Suga is doing a producing now. Zico and Park Kyung is producing in Block B. Ravi is producing in VIX. Yong Junhyung is a main producer of Highlight, and BI is the producer of iKon. Even SM, the most systematical label in K-pop, is letting the idols to write their own lyrics in NCT. In NCT, of course, the producers are the best producers overall the world, but Mark and Taeyong is writing their own lyrics, and they are the rappers, so actually they need to write their own lyrics, but which was not the case in the SM until now. And also, SM let the solo singer-songwriting project going too. Henry of Super Junior and Jonghyun of SHINee produced his own albums. Of course, with the help from the staff, so technically they need a lot of help, but still they actually pick their own direction and pick their own lyrics, which makes their performance more authentic, I think. Self-producing, I think, is one of the reasons why K-pop is starting to get more appeal and more respect from all over the world. They are not just idol, they make their own music, so they are idol, yet they are artists, which makes the songs and the project way more complicated and way more interesting. And you can show your talent more naturally. I mean, who knows your talent more than yourself? Song recommendation, I recommend Hyori's Miss Korea. As you can see, Korean girl groups do not have a producer usually. But I want to show you one actually exception where female artist produced herself and made a great K-pop single. Hyori was a member of the first generation girl group Finkel. She was not the best singer in the group, but she started her own career as a solo artist and made quite a few successful singles, like 10 minutes. But she chose the beat, she didn't actually produce the song. At her fourth album, the scandal happened. One idiot composer actually sold her the exact copy of a foreign composer's music to her. She got hurt by that scandal so much that she decided to make her own music. Miss Korea is a lead single of her fifth album. She wrote the song. She also wrote the lyrics of the song. And her husband, Lee Sang-soon, one of the best guitarists in Korean indie scene, created the beat. And it's a very indie rock sound. And it's an indie rock sound, very, very old school rock sound. And actually the song is about her and how she thinks every female is beautiful. So it's a woman power kind of lyrics. So it's a mixture of a girl group member in 30s and feministic, very feminism lyrics and an old school rock sound. And the mixture of it is very strange, very unique, yet very charming K-pop. It's a mixture of everything, just like, which is what the K-pop music is all about, right? And as you can see, she's a great dancer, great performer, but she's not the greatest vocalist. But she wrote the song in Miss Korea. She wrote this song, Miss Korea, so she knows herself. And this song, actually, her vocal fits so well with the music. So this shows the power of self-producing, even for females. Perhaps it takes time to actually self-produce, and maybe we don't give much time for the girl groups. But now members like LE of EXID started producing herself. I want to see a producer in K-pop girl group because I think self-producing girl group idol is one of a very few blue ocean that is left in K-pop ocean. Hyori's Miss Korea is a glimpse of it, but actually her music is so centered on 30s. It's a music for a grown-up woman. And I want to see a younger generation female artist who produce herself and talk about her own story. And that is it. This was Chris Kim. Bring K-pop story to the world, no matter how small it looks. Who is your favorite producer in K-pop group? Is there any suggestion about the clip? Please reply me back.